Pidan al Señor para que me bendiga. La oración de ustedes me da fuerzas y me ayuda para que pueda discernir y acompañar a la Iglesia escuchando al Espíritu Santo. Por el hecho de ser Papa, uno no pierde su humanidad. Al contrario, mi humanidad cada día crece más con el santo pueblo fiel de Dios. Porque ser Papa también es un proceso. Uno va tomando conciencia de lo que significa ser pastor. Y en este proceso aprende a ser más caritativo, más misericordioso y sobre todo más paciente, como es nuestro Padre Dios, que es tan paciente. Puedo imaginar que todos los papas al empezar su pontificado tuvieron esa sensación de susto, vértigo, del que sabe que va a ser juzgado con dureza. Porque el Señor a los obispos nos va a pedir cuenta seriamente. Por favor, les pido que juzguen con benevolencia y que recen para que el Papa, sea quien sea, hoy me toca a mí, reciba la ayuda del Espíritu Santo, sea dócil a esa ayuda. Oremos por el Papa para que en el ejercicio de su misión siga acompañando en la fe a la grey que le ha sido encomendada por Jesús y siempre con la ayuda del Espíritu Santo.
Facciamo in silenzio questa preghiera de voi su di me.
Y recen por mí, a favor.
A very warm good morning and welcome to this live special segment right here on Capuchin TV. And this is the rite of continuous initiation into adulthood with me, Sasha Elizabeth. Now, in a world where the youth navigate the twists and turns of life in a unique way, there arises a crucial demand to reshape their journey, relook into keenly into the pivotal transition, especially from childhood to adulthood, because this is transformative phase holds a profound significance that influences the entire trajectory of an individual's life. And this is exactly the reason why we bring you this special segment, just to understand what kind of challenges do children face in the contemporary world and how best can we address them early enough as we continue to walk the journey of their transition all the way. And with me in studio, I've got, let me start with introducing you, Father. Probably you can just introduce yourself for the sake of those who are watching us for the first time.
Okay, I'm Father Gabriel, Kinoti OSB. I work in St. Benedict Parish, and I'm also the director of this program, Rite of Continuous Initiation to Adulthood. Yeah.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, great. And then I have my father's namesake, Patrick. Please introduce yourself, your two names to our viewer, and tell us which class are you. We understand you're also an RCIA graduate. Yes. You can tell us the name of your cohort and and when you graduated from RCIA.
Yes, my name is Patrick Oreri. I school at Pope Benedict, the 16th Minor Seminary. And I was a RICA candidate in 2018. That's when I graduated. And that's when I knew this program. And before, as we go on with the program, we'll go on to know each other, and I'll tell you more about this program.
Wow, interesting. I like that. So punchy, a punchy introduction, Patrick. So thank you very much for coming to share with us your experience at RCIA. All right. So welcome, dear viewer, and feel free to weigh in on the conversation. We are looking at the value of RCIA on teenage formation. How important is this program? Of course, we've in our previous discourses highlighted or spoken about how important or how unique this program is, but exactly tying it on teenage formation, because teenagers right now are rocked by so many challenges, and as they grow up, they find themselves in a dilemma concerning how best they can react to certain situations. So on we start, you can just weigh in on the conversation on 0717-424-866 or 0741-114031. Now, to start off further, let's just, could you just shed some light on the nature of challenges in this contemporary world that affect the teenagers, and how you, before we get to how you address these challenges, maybe just point out a few challenges.
Thank you. I think the main challenges, I would categorize them among many at three. That mental health challenges, you have spiritual health challenges, and also social health challenges. When I categorize in these three spectrums, I see mental health as a situation of mental stress, or in the teenage age, this is the time they start now realizing that they are growing to be to a self-formation, or kind of to realize themselves, so to say. Earlier, or maybe before that, before the teenage age, they usually wait for their parents or maybe other caregivers to tell them what to do. But this time, they start realizing now they need to do it for themselves. They start being, so to say, autonomous. They can think for themselves. They can now realize themselves that now we are different people. We have a different body structure. We are growing. They want to know so many things, so to say. And this one, unless it's carefully handled, it brings a mental stress. And I would say, for example, anxiety. They're usually anxious to see what will happen to themselves. Some of them are getting a bit taller or a bit plump. They're anxious. They want to see what will come out of this. For us who are maybe grown up, it's a nature of growth, but for them it's almost everything, because now everything is changing and they need to be introduced or to know that this is their world. They need to grow to this. Still, there are also other normal stressors for themselves that they think now, because now I've gone to secondary school, most of the things I need to do for myself. Earlier, my mom or my parents used to take care of myself, maybe reminding me to go and take a bath, or first doing your bed, doing your clothes, those kind of things. But now they start now realizing I have to do it for myself. It creates a kind of anxiety, or kind of a stress that now I need to wake up, I need to take care of myself. I also need to take care of my belongings. And this is actually also, that's what we try to do in this program, that we introduce them to this world so that the stress is not too much. Instead, this is a nature of your life. You need now to pick it from there. Sometimes we put it on another level. It goes sometimes into the depressive syndromes. These depressive syndromes or depressive signs comes when there is no way out. For example, a teenage who has come up, or who is growing in an abusive family, is not very sure that something bad will not happen to maybe the one being abused, maybe the child or the mother or even a kind of a community who does not accept or love the family. So when the child sees that there's no way out here, what will happen to me, all those kind of things, it creates a kind of depressive syndrome, and that's what we try to address. This is a question of mental health. Among other things, allow me to also venture in the spiritual health. The last term we had a spiritual intelligence test.
How is that done?
Just to see how spiritual our children. You know, spirituality is not like religiosity. You know, we came out to know that a sizable percentage of our children, they are only religious. They are not growing to spirituality. You know, no. Religiosity is a set of signs and symbols. For example, somebody who goes to church, somebody who goes for maybe communion for the young ones, then goes there to dance. To church, so maybe sometimes to dance. These are things which you can see. You can see with your naked eyes. But when you come to spirituality, is the way they can transcend from what they see. It goes to transcendence. It also the way they can contemplate. You tell them, maybe think of the word of God. Can you pray that spontaneous thing if it is there? And this is what brings holiness. Holiness is based on spirituality, it's not religiosity. Anybody can be religious, I can go to church, I can go to communion, I can dance. These things you can say them. But the way I relate to my God, it is actually spirituality, and this spiritual intelligence test, it really exposed. We also did it to the parents. we didn't know about this.
Is this
For
done
example,
on the candidates or including the parents and guardians?
We did it to the candidates, and then we told the parents what we saw. It was a bit low. I think the highest was only 52%. And then the parents, they say, we want also to do on ourselves. so we did it to them, and then they say, my goodness, I really need to think of this. For example, if you take a basic thing of meditation, because meditation, it was what can tell you whether spiritual or religious. You tell somebody in church or to keep quiet and think what God has done for you, because this is what now connects with the spiritual world. Religiosity is the things I can clap, I can sing, I can jump, but this is just a sense of emotion and possibly making myself happier. But connecting with the spiritual world, it makes you spiritual, and what leads to holiness. And then I try to mention, then they say, unless you are spiritual, you can never be holy. The religious, anybody can go to church, even band or whatever, anybody can go to church. This one can see. But spirituality, it is a way you relate to God, the transcendent, to the spiritual world, to meditation, and also going out of your way to realize yourself as a creature of God and somebody who has a purpose in your life, somebody who even thinks of death. If you tell somebody who is not spiritual to think of death, you say you want to be rich, or you are thinking of something bad. But somebody who thinks of what will happen after some few years, this is spirituality, because it just sees what is beyond physical. So that's what I'm saying.
So how does this become a challenge to a teenager?
It becomes a challenge because we have teenagers who are actors, especially when they go to their churches or to practice their spirituality. Yeah? They become actors. You ask them, what do you go to do? Someone will tell you, I go to church to serve mass, and today because I was not serving mass, I stayed at home. Then you say immediately there's a problem. Today I was refused to dance. Especially this teenager, they can dance in the church, the MYM things. Yeah? And they said, today I was refused, I'm not dancing. So I said, then we just stay at home and go at my chance. So you see, this one goes to church because there is an action. And this one, you see, it exposes our children. They don't grow to a spiritual people, but actors in church. It becomes some theater. Some theater or some things or the kind of thing. So it really becomes a challenge. And how do you also measure this? We also try in this program to check on 3 principal things which relate to the spiritual world or assist our children to grow in spiritual world. One, it is the liturgical participation. We try to ask them, whatever church they go, what do you do in your church? Do you sing, for example? Do you have maybe memory verses, or do you do any service? It is liturgical participation. If a child who has no liturgical participation, then the spiritual world is not inculcated in this. And then the secondary from spiritual world, Another thing is biblical reading. Do they study the Word of God? Do they have the Bible? Can they, by themselves, at the teenage age, say, "I will read my Bible by myself," without the teacher saying or the parents? Because we want to introduce them to the biblical world so that they can hear by themselves the Word of God. And the third thing is prayer. I think you have got the three principal things which we try to develop in them. We have talked of liturgical
participation,
and biblical, and also
and prayer.
And prayer.
Thank you, Father. Maybe before we get back to you again for the social aspect of challenges, let me engage my friend here. You look so informed. Seems the RCIA did a great job, right?
Yes, it did.
All right, so tell us a little bit about your experience, maybe before you joined that program. How did you get to learn about it, or was it your parent who took you there?
Well, thank you. Before this program, I can say there was a lot of challenges because the media, everything. Like mostly nowadays, drugs are abused commonly. And when you see someone in the television smoking, you say, wow, this man is cool. But in the real sense, he's doing something wrong. But as a teenager, we know we are like a sheet of paper, blank. And the more we are exposed, the more we feel that shit with what we see. But when I learned about this program, it was actually being announced in the church. And when I went to inform my parent, he was actually going to inform me about the program.
Oh, so, wow, what a coincidence.
Yes. So we agreed that we should meet further and made some connections so that I can enter the program. And immediately I entered, there were some vices in me. So the more you enter the program, it's like a rubber. So they keep on rubbing the vices and instilling more good things in you. And this program, I can actually urge my fellow youths to join it because you'll find no place better than this program. Like for example, on 14th of this month, we'll be having a program for the new initiates that will end on 25th. And the same month, on 28th, we'll be having another one. So I urge all my fellow youths and age mates to join this program because once you join this program, you get to learn more about life, how to cope up, how to study, peer influence. So many things are in this program that, apart from being circumcised and many, we are actually initiated into adulthood, which is not a process, which is not actually, you can't be an adult in a day. It's a process that, some people go to these other initiating rites for, let's say, 1 week. Then when you come home, you start saying, I'm an adult. But that's not the way. Being an adult is a process that you undergo slowly because you can't jump into becoming an adult because, humans, we are prone to forgetting. So that's why we have this book over here called You Deserve to Be Happy.
Thank you. Thank you, Patrick. So you did read this book yourself?
Yes.
What did you glean from the book? What values or moral values did you grasp from this book?
Well, this book actually shows you how you interact with people, how you interact with your parents, your teachers.
Father, just hold it like this.
It shows you how you interact with your teachers, how to do this when it's this time, when to ask your parents. Nowadays, you may find that your parent is stressed and you, as a young one, you do not know that my parent is stressed, that you should be pressuring him to do something. But when you read this book, it will tell you what is the right time, what are the signs that your parent is happy, sad, how to study, how to grasp things. This book is something that you need. But it alone, you must meet the elders who are the priests here, who will help you by joining the program, and that's how you live a happier life. Thank you.
All right, you've contrasted between other initiation programs that you've had before,
Yes.
and the RCIA. So when you first heard the announcement, what was it that struck you so that you made this conscious decision to go and engage with your parent, to convince your parent to enroll you into the program?
The first thing that I trusted this program, because something that was brought up by the priest is actually very secure. You know, there were so many posters around saying, go and get circumcised, go and get circumcised. But to me, it was not secure. But when I introduced it to my parent, he told me, this is secure. And you know, the priests are free. You can talk with them and you can express your problems to them and they will help you solve it. That's I decided that the RCIA program was the best for me, and I think it's the best for others too.
Thank you very much, Patrick Oreri. Such a wise young man. All right, so get back to you, Father. We are addressing these challenges that are plaguing the contemporary world, especially the life of teenagers and youths, young youths. Now, you've mentioned mental health, spiritual health, which you categorized under liturgical formation, biblical, and prayer. Then we have the social challenges. Could you just briefly tell us about the social challenges?
The social challenges, I usually say, is social wellness. There are actually a myriad of them outside there. Let me start with the common, which is not really is not really a challenge, but something which need to be handled in a lot of care, is the education. When people are usually when the children are between 10 and 19 years, their mind is working so much to get a lot of things. Either in the print media, in the social media, in the educative media, in the library, and in school. This is the time somebody gets a lot of things coming in the hand. And now, what the challenge comes if one has, if the teenage has to disassociate the good and the bad. This one throws us also to occupational challenges, especially this time they are at home. When a parent grieves a home without an occupation of the child, it creates, first of all, stress, and then the child looks for where to recreate. Allow me also to venture, when we say occupation, when the child or when somebody does not have something, a program that day, automatically the child is stressed. I saw this one in the resilience class of 2020, the time we had COVID with us. Yeah? Most of the children, they expressed, if you measure their anxiety levels, they were a bit high because the occupation was not, they didn't know what to do. When to go to school, they are just there in the house. And most of these children, when they come for this, the continuous initiation class, they tell you, Father, we like coming here. Then say, why do you like coming here? You know, at home there's nothing. Our parents just go out to go for work. Now we are left there by ourselves to decide what to do. And you know, these young things, they need to do everything. Yeah? So what do? They just go, they take refuge in the social media. And then we try to say, in the social media, what do you like in the social media? Because now the parents have left a vacuum of your occupation of the teenage, and they are very active. And when this vacuum is not addressed, you see them, maybe their goals for social media. First of all, in social media, most of them, they venture in musical world. They enter TikTok the other day, and a parent complaining that I don't understand my daughter because I've seen her in TikTok. Somebody has said to me he's putting on very funny clothes and singing some very, very funny songs. I don't know what to do. Then I ask now, when you usually go out the house, what do you leave your daughter to do? They say, I usually tell them to find something to do in the house. And then say, now they got something, they should not complain. So what I'm saying, in occupation, as parents, the program is tailor-made to make sure the kids at home, they have an occupation thing. We should create a WhatsApp wall, and then we connect the children to this crisis to talk what they are doing at home. We just give them, we ask their parents, just give them phones. We have 1 hour interactive in the social media in the evening. Yeah? They oh, in your school, what are you doing? What did you do today? So they have something they hope and to look forward for. And then also in social media, those who do not take refuge in music, they sometimes, a number of them, in fact, they rate very high. Those, for example, who go for maybe pornographic sites, those kind of thing. And then at the end of the day, the children, they start now learning very, very negative and, so to say, inhuman things. Because because a number of them, they tell you that we usually look at this, but you try to challenge, because what do normal people look at naked people or they are mad people? Then you try to challenge their thinking, and then say, I think I'm not normal when I'm looking. Then they create in themselves a principle that this one is not the best thing for me to do. So you grow in their own world. You don't tell them, oh, this one is wrong, don't do this. You say, what do you think you do with that? What do you do with yourself when for example, you look at your little dad, your little son, or somebody who is naked? You tell them, just sit well, or possibly, that's what you do. Yeah, that's what you do at home. But now, what do you do in this kind of thing? So you try to assist them to have an occupation. We usually say in psychology, occupational therapist. We make sure that there is a good occupation for our children and also for our teenage age.
Great. Thank you very much, Father Gabriel. It is time to take a breather, but we'll be right back with more on this program, so stay tuned.
The Catholic Church speaks.
Kama maaskofu wa Kristo, kanisa Katoliki, kukashifu ile miundo ya maisha ambayo haiambatani na familia. So we condemn and reject ideas of LGBTQ plus minus and multiply and so on. Call it what you want. You go to hell with it. Enda nayo. Haisaidii familia, haijengi familia, na hakuna mahali ambapo tutasema tutakubali. We respect human beings, human dignity. But of course, we must separate the actions that don't give us that dignity. And therefore we say no to such things. And Christians, you must stand firm. Msimame imara wa Kristo.
The Catholic Church speaks.
When we judge by our conscience, if a government, any government at a given time, enact rules that are against 3 things which are highlighted in the Catechism of the Catholic Church. 1, if the laws are contrary to moral order, we are not obliged to obey such government. If the government enacts rules that are against the fundamental rights of a human person, the dignity of human person, me and you as Christians, we are not obliged to obey such kind of government. And the third instance or circumstance is when any government at any time enact the laws that are against the teaching of the gospel, we are not obliged to obey such government. There is no way when the government will come and enact the laws against human life, the sacredness of human life, and say it is right to do abortions, it is right to do euthanasia, and so on, to do the cloning, and so on, we have no moral obligation to obey such government. When we are being forced, or any government can force us, for us to receive aids and development projects, we must agree to to support the Western ideologies that are abhorred by our Christian teaching, our African culture, we cannot be able, because they goes against the teaching of gospel, and that become morally repugnant, and we are not obliged to obey such. Those who enact such laws, they carry the image of God. They are not God themselves. They need to obey the natural law, the divine law, as has been stipulated by God himself.
Welcome back, dear viewer. We are glad you're still keeping tabs with us. This is the rite of initiation into continuous initiation into adulthood, rather. And I am here with Patrick Oreri, who is a graduate of the same program, and the director, Father Gabriel Kinoti, OSB, the director of the program. And we are discussing, just trying to cut through the value of RCIA to teenage formation, because it is quite an important aspect of life. And Teresa Kemunto says she is tuned in. Thank you, Teresa. And Bernard also says, I am following. Thank you, Bernard and Teresa. I think you deserve a loyal badge fan. Now, fan badge, that is. Welcome back to the second session, Father Kinoti and Patrick Oreri. All right, so please share with us, Patrick. We understand when you introduced yourself, you told us that you school in a minor seminary. Do you aspire to be a priest in future?
Yes, I do aspire to be a priest, because...
What influenced this decision?
Once I joined the program, I identified myself, and I asked myself one question. What do I want to be in future? Do I want to serve Christ or through being a priest, or do I want to be a loyal family member? Then I examined myself, looked at my qualities and the qualities that the other priests around me have. Then I said I would try my best to be a priest if God allows me.
So that's when you spoke to your parents about the decision.
Yes, and that's why I told them to enroll me in a minor seminary, so that I could be instilled with the values, so that I can learn and see what is being a priest all about. Is it just serving in mass or praying the whole day?
There is more to it than just that.
It's about being spiritual to God. You know, communication with God is actually the main thing here. It's not about being famous or becoming a pope. It's about helping you and helping others around you. That's when I made the turning point that I don't want to go to any other school but the Pope Benedict XVI Minor Seminary, so that once I go there, I can learn about priesthood and how it is, other than its good performance in education, it has more to that in spirituality and more diversity in it. So when I saw the seminary as the best place, so that I wouldn't change my thoughts when I went to another school, so that I could remain rooted in the foundation of becoming a priest. Yes.
Wonderful. What level are you right now?
I'm in Form 2.
Great. So it is being in service of God as a religious, just fully giving yourself to serve God and His creation. Great. Thank you. Now, just tell us a little bit, what values exactly did you glean from the RCIA program that you think they prepared you for this step of life?
Yes, one thing, some of the values are understanding. You know, when you are with others, you understand them and they understand you. So, you know, when you live with people who you don't understand, that's when conflict arises. So when you understand your neighbor and you understand his weaknesses and his strengths, you know how to cope up with him and live with him. Then another one is prayer. you know, once we are given these tests and questionnaires, we learn, and those questions, once you read them, you examine yourself. How am I doing with my God? Am I really praying? Am I really doing what is deserved and why God created me? Am I fulfilling my purpose to be created? And so many, like for example, we have obedience. Some of our promises are, I will be obedient. So once you are obedient to your elders and your young ones, you won't find some more conflict, to just be in peace with yourself and in peace with others. If you are just a good family member, you are a good worker, you will study well, you won't enroll in drugs. These are some of the good values that you will only find them in the RCIA. And once you come to this program, you identify yourself. Who am I? Why was I created? And what is my purpose in this life? Those are some of the questions that they engage us in thinking. You know, when let's say for example, you're with your teachers, they just speak, and you know, because you're used to them, you just say, acha ongea ende. But once you are here with the priests and this program, you just identify yourself and say, what I'm doing is not right. What is the way forward? This is what I should do, and these are the steps that I should take.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Oreri, for that. And back to you, Father. We have really mentioned quite a number of challenges in different facets or domains of life. Now, how does the right of continuous initiation into adulthood address these challenges? Just briefly.
According to this, to our program, what we usually take so much is, first of all, we like to identify the gaps in each and every challenge or right that's coming up. Normally, at this kind of age, if you see something, a kind of a behavioral disorder coming up, most of them, it is in the realm of trying to experiment something. It's not usually deep in them. We try to see what is coming up, and then sometimes we use a number of psychological and social tests to try to realize these challenges. For example, when they come because on 28th we have a camp of the continuous classes. Will be from 2s, because those who are going from 1, they will start on 14. Will be from 2s, from 3s, from 4s, and those who are joining the universities. So we put them in classes, and then from there we give them a set of a questionnaire. What has been happening? For example, a child who is in Form 3, what has happened this time? You tell them, just share or write have a page of what has happened in school. So immediately, because we learn as a number of psychologists and the spiritual spiritual experts, by reading this, you will identify that the child is Form 3, he has not been happy because maybe he did not perform well, because maybe he was punished. See, you say something did not make you happy. What was it? I was punished because maybe I was told also I became unruly, or something happening in the dormitory or whatever. You know, for us as psychologists, the counselors must say, let's talk about this episode. What was your experience? What did you learn about it? So this rite of initiation always identifies the gaps as they come out, and we address them as they are. And also the parents assist us, because when they bring the children, we ask them, kindly write us a page or 2 about your child, what you have liked in that, and then we read them. We say, you know, what your mom tells, he says you are very good in the house, you do the cleaning when you are at home. Do you think you will continue that way? And then the child says, oh, I didn't know that mom says something good about me. What will you do so that you can continue doing it? This is what we do, and this is what the program does to address this challenge.
So that means that once a child enrolls to RCIA, it doesn't mean that the process is just left entirely to the program managers. The parents and guardians are also involved throughout.
Completely, they're involved. They're involved. From the very beginning, we tell, for example, on Sunday, at 3 we are meeting the parents, and we are explaining the parents, especially those who are bringing their children, that if you allow, we will stay with your children for 4 years, but you will be the first person to do the formation of your child. For us, we just assist. First of all, you give us your child, and you give us your the way you see maybe in the church or maybe in good things, so that we can try to contain that. If there is any deviation, especially when it comes to academic deviations, we have IQ tests, which we do. We have gone through some parents who, I remember another a parent who works as a clinical officer somewhere, and he says, this work, I like it for my son. For my son shouldn't go this time, the son is doing architecture. It's not this. So we are the ones who call the parents and say, your son is stressed. Why? Because you are saying he shouldn't go to do medicine. And the son says, I don't like medicine, I like architecture. So we have to call the parents and say, there's a correction, because you want to force what you like to your child. Say, I didn't know that it's that kind of impact. Then you say, can you leave the child to decide? And then from there we brought that thing. So what I want to emphasize is that we involve from the very beginning the parent information of their children. But also another challenge usually, anyway, I must confess, is usually the parents, because most of them, they feel maybe either exposed or they don't want to do too much. They think now the formators, us as formators can do it, or the teachers can do it. And actually, this is the greatest problem with our youth today. The parents who are not hands-on on their children, they revert to the social media, to the parents, or maybe they bring this program and say, mimi nikupatia mtoto.
So they want to leave everything to to the program. Okay. Okay. Thank you very much, Father, for that. And of course, we tend in this society where we have both parents, in most cases, busy working and running different programs. And they believe maybe that is the opportunity now to delegate the role of formation of a child and the transition entirely to the priests and those who are running the program, which is not the case, because the child still needs the parents and of course the parents or guardians. So participating or taking your part, playing your role quite well is paramount towards giving this child a holistic formation. Let me get back to Patrick. Right now you're still participating in the ongoing formation, right?
Yes.
How is it different from the initial one that you had to graduate, the one that you graduated from?
Well, there's no actually big difference, because everything is actually similar. The first, the second, the third, as no new thing is actually introduced apart from the upcoming challenges. Everyday challenges just occur, and that's how we try to solve them. But you can find that the topics are the same, because you find that most of us, we have similar problems, like the graduates of this year, the graduates of next year. You find that most of them have the similar problems. So the similar problems, the similar solutions. So you find that all of us were taught the same thing from the first year to the last year. Thank you.
But okay, but there's some aspect of the novelty, the changing world. When you are you encounter something, a strange challenge, they can walk with you and advise you how to go about it, right?
Yes. That's why I said when something new arises, that's when it is taught to the next one and the recent one. Because you can find during the corona period, there were so many challenges and problems which were not there initially. So when that challenge occurs again, that's why we have to inform. We have to inform the graduates who are there and the students, so that when the challenge occurs again at a future time, or which is in the process, which are those who are still having the problem, it can be solved.
Thank you, Reri. Now, before you joined the program and after your graduation, there are two different people. The person you were prior and the person you are right now upon graduation and with the ongoing formation.
Yes.
Could you just tell us some of the things, what kind of person were you before and how did the program reform you, particularly in the context of your family, how you relate with your parents, your siblings, if you have some, and friends?
Yes, personally, I can say for myself, before this program, it was actually, the greatest challenge was peer pressure. As you just keep on following people. You don't, as you keep on growing, you keep on to look at some new things. Let's say, for example, when people are walking aimlessly, because you don't know the way, I was just with them.
You just hop on the bandwagon.
Yes, I was just following the herd, not knowing that the herd did not know where it was going. So, but when I entered this program, that's when I learned about peer pressure and peer influence, good peers and bad peers, that not everything should be followed like a flag. It's just you follow the right thing according to you, and what are the good peers and the bad peers in the society? What should you do about them and what you should not do? Like for me, for now, I can say my parents are very happy for the changes they have seen in me, even though I don't see some great change. But I know they can see something good in me that was not there before. And I think nowadays we are in more understanding, because when they talk, we just understand ourselves, because this is my parent and I have to listen to him because he's the one who brought me into this world and is the elder one here. So, but before you could just find that we are arguing, because when you see someone there being called by the mother and just throwing hands, because when you see that the mother is angry and has kept quiet, you say nimemweza. But when I came to this program, I noticed that that's your kumweza. It is just making him angry. Yes, and indiscipline.
Okay.
So once you come to this program, you are taught on good peers and bad peers, and how to relate with others. Because back then, it was just about me, I, my. Those are my favorite words.
Yeah, you're sort of egocentric. Everything, the world revolves around you.
Yes,
it's either your way or no any other way.
Yes, but nowadays it is about us. What can we do when we are together? Not me. Because when you are alone you can do nothing, but when we come together we can do something great. Like in Kiswahili they say umoja ni nguvu. So this program teaches us about togetherness. When you come together, you share ideas, you grow. But when you're just alone, you'll just keep on staying the same. If you are good, you'll remain good. If you're bad, you'll remain bad and become badder. Baddest.
And worst.
Yes.
Wonderful. I just like that, that's quite profound, because it even emphasizes the Ubuntu spirit, that you are because I am, because you are, and you are because I am. So great. So you don't have to always think about yourself. Your actions and inactions should consider and be empathetic of others. I think since I've started this conversation, I've not had that perspective of explanation, and I like that. Great. So now, Father, just briefly, because our time is running up very fast, we have different groups in the church, and I just wish to know how or what role does the church play in aiding the youths, especially in facing these circumstances, teenagers and youths, to just address the issues that they struggle with in their day-to-day lives.
Okay. The church, or so to say, is also a social and also a spiritual community. And most of the young ones, they identify themselves with any social institution which counts or which speaks to what they want in life. If, for example, the parents or the caregivers, they usually go to pray the services together, we see the young one growing in the culture of wanting to be a church person. First of all, it starts as the social aspect. From there, it develops little by little to be a spiritual and actually to a self-regulating group. But I think what is more important is that we encourage the young ones to belong to a church group. You know, in African tradition, and I like saying this because any values comes from a tradition. Tradition is not all the things, it's the values which are interpreted there. For a church values or African values, they believe in a communitarian aspects of behavioral formation. If the young ones, they go to PMC, these little ones, those who are in high school, you see, all of them, they want to go to church and they want to be involved in maybe dancing, whatever the little things they do in school, and also wearing maybe a certain attire, PMC attire, or whatever they do, they wear in their church. They want to identify that communitarian spirit is there. And when they grow to Harleton, they go to the young adults, that's MYM. And we emphasize for them to belong to develop a church values, they need to belong to a group. For example, we have commonly in the Catholic Church called the MYM, those who are in high school. We tell them you cannot stay without a group, because without a group there are no values. And if you don't know, if you're in a group and you have no values, then the other group members can try to assist you. That's the second, group formation. Secondly, it is in group formation, we need mentors. For example, remember they are still underage. We need a very good mentor in MYM, in the PMC, a motherly figure, a fatherly figure, to try to work with them. And a mentor who always connects them with the parents. So in the church, we need the parents group, and we need also a separate forum for formation of our children. Rarely you see these things happen in churches, but it's very important when you have a parental meeting of those who are rearing up the teenagers or the young ones, so that we can try to speak about various trends of formation. Allow me also to say this: the most important thing that the church and the community can do, because they work together, one and the greatest thing is to create a communal or a communication forum for the young, for the parents, for the church, so that we become an involving community, so that we grow together, not the children growing in their world and the parents growing in their world. We grow together, we try to enter in each and everybody's world. Another thing is counseling. If you see any deviation, and remember, Madam Ashasha, counseling is not, most of the people, they think counseling is somebody who has a problem. It's not about the problem. It's also about upholding the values and upholding the good things. For example, you ask somebody, I can see you have done very well in Form 3. Tell me what you will do different to do better in Form 4. It's a sense of counseling to try to see that the good things, they are contained there. Another thing, the third value is listening. We have parents who dare listen to their children. You need at least a good time. You let the child talk about the school at leo sorry, tumetoka shule sijui tulichapwa, something happened. Let them talk about that. We really need to develop a good ear of your children. Another thing is like this program of right of continuance, so that we can assist the parents and the church community information.
Absolutely, working together as a team, community, parents, and other stakeholders is quite vital in establishing how best to do the formation that will benefit the child throughout their lives. And our time is up. We are supposed to wrap up. Just a second for each of my guests to give a parting shot. And as your parting shot, Patrick or Reri, I'll start with you. Just tell us why you would encourage other children to enroll into the RCIA program. Yes. Kindly look at your camera and speak to that child or that teenager sitting at home and watching you.
Yes, thank you. I would like to urge you to join this program, because once you come here, you interact, we try to solve our problems together, we grow. Because this program, I think, is the best in Kenya and even the world, because you'll find nowhere other than this, because we enjoy counseling services for free, because out there, it's a bit costly. But here, we get everything, from the food to everything is actually excellent. Yeah, we enjoy some services that when you go out there, you can't get.
Great.
And it's available during the holidays. After every holiday, I would urge you to come for the continuous programs. And on the 14th, I would urge you to come, the initiates from the 14th to 25th, and the 28th for the continuous classes. Please don't miss that one. I'll be there and we can talk more about it. Thank you.
Wow, interesting. I believe you wouldn't wish to miss out that point to interact with Patrick already. Father, just in 2 seconds because our time is up.
Thank you so much. Maybe to wrap up, I didn't know already I was aspiring to become a priest. And this one I didn't know. This is how the influence, the positive influence can be this kind of growth. So thank you so much for that. Allow me to say, if you want to get in touch with us, maybe this RCIA program possibly from today, kindly touch with us, get in touch with us with 0781 032 247. You can get me on this number, or the coordinator of the group, 0714 892413. 0714892413 is in Brother Gregory, but my personal my number is 0781 032 247. We can interact more, and please, I want to urge those who are not bringing the children for initiation from between 14 and 25th, you can watch us on Facebook Live. You will see us what we do in the cultural rights initiation program on 25th. And also those who want to bring their children from 1, 2, 3, and 4th for let's say for a seminar is between 28th and 1st, Tuesday to 1st, and we'll be able to interact and learn more about this program. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Father, and we really appreciate what you are doing with the rest of the team at the RCIA, helping teenagers and children to be people of substance, people who are dependable even in future, who get hold of situations and react to them in a positive way. And I wish also to thank you, young man, for sharing with us your experiences in a very composed and a lot of equity you exuded right there. We wish you all the best in your quest to be a religious, to be a shepherd. And maybe at some point we'll get to hear about Bishop, Right Reverend Bishop Patrick Oreri, or even the Pope, right? All the best. Great. So thank you very much, dear viewer, for working with us through this conversation. We believe that you have gleaned something, and it is important that you enroll your child. For further details, you can just pay a visit or call the contacts that Father Kinoti has provided, so that you can see how much more your child stands to benefit when they join RCA program as opposed to other programs or initiation programs that are available in our society. So I wish to close it at this point, but I just want to appreciate the team, Felix Juma, who has been manning the camera right here in studio. On sound, we had Frederico Cheng, and visual mixing, Wilfred Matundura and Samuel Chirbor, and on transmission desk we had Peter Mwangi. I wouldn't like to miss out. There's a young man who accompanied Doreri. What is his name?
His name is Maxwell Kinoti.
Maxwell Kinoti. Great. And my name is Sasha Elizabeth. I wish you a great day. Goodbye.
Pidan al Señor para que me bendiga. La oración de ustedes me da fuerzas y me ayuda para que pueda discernir y acompañar a la Iglesia escuchando al Espíritu Santo. Por el hecho de ser Papa, uno no pierde su humanidad. Al contrario, mi humanidad cada día crece más con el santo pueblo fiel de Dios. Porque ser Papa también es un proceso. Uno va tomando conciencia de lo que significa ser pastor. Y en este proceso aprende a ser más caritativo, más misericordioso y sobre todo más paciente, como es nuestro Padre Dios, que es tan paciente. Puedo imaginar que todos los papas al empezar su pontificado tuvieron esa sensación de susto, vértigo, del que sabe que va a ser juzgado con dureza. Porque el Señor a los obispos nos va a pedir cuenta seriamente. Por favor, les pido que juzguen con benevolencia y que recen para que el Papa, sea quien sea, hoy me toca a mí, reciba la ayuda del Espíritu Santo, sea dócil a esa ayuda. Oremos por el Papa, para que en el ejercicio de su misión siga acompañando en la fe a la grey que le ha sido encomendada por Jesús, y siempre con la ayuda del Espíritu Santo.
Facciamo in silenzio questa preghiera de voi su di me.
Y recen por mí, a favor.
On Saturday 11th November 2023, the Franciscan missionaries of St. Joseph or Mill Hill Sisters cordially invite you to the first profession of novice Maximila Adisa, daughter of Alan Omuchiro and Beatrice Libese, from St. Joseph Parish, Luanda, in Kakamega Diocese. Silver Jubilee of Sister Monica Nyaboke Onyando, from St. Joseph Amasango Parish, Kisii Diocese. And Golden Jubilee of Sister Bernadette Nilon, from St. Teresa Cathedral Kibuye in Kisumu Archdiocese. The Holy Mass will start at 10 a.m., presided over by Right Reverend Bishop Joseph Obanyisagwe of the Catholic Diocese of Kakamega. This event, which will be held at Hekima University College in Nairobi, will be live on Capuchin TV and its correspondent social media platform. Keep watching Capuchin TV, your Catholic identity.
This is who we are. We are shepherds of God's flock. We are pastors, servants of God's people. We are KCCB.
Kwa jina la Baba na Mwana na Roho Mtakatifu.
Amani iwe nanyi. Tujute dhambi zetu, tupate kujiweka tayari kutoa sadaka.
Somo katika kitabu cha Kumbukumbu la Torati.
We are fishers of men, priests in the order of Melchizedek.
Somo katika Injili ilivyoandikwa na Marko.
Inasonga mbele Injili.
Twaeni mle wote, huu ndio mwili wangu utakaotolewa kwa ajili yenu.
Vijana inasonga.
Awabariki Mungu Mwenyezi, Baba na Mwana na Roho Mtakatifu.
We are brothers and sisters of Jesus Christ. We are consecrated. We are religious men and women. We are CMA. We are men of action. We are commission. We are CWA. We are women of faith. We are soprano and alto. We are tenor and bass. We are voices of praise and worship.
On that grace morning when the sun was rolled away, on that resurrection morning, Jesus rose to life again.
We are youth for Christ.
House 47 at St. Monica's production.
We are YCA. We are MYM.
Have mercy on us and on the whole world.
For the sake of his sorrowful passion.
We are PMC. We are liturgical dancers and altar servers. We are baptized.
I baptize you in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit.
We are confirmed. We are married. We are marriage encounter. We are couples for Christ. We are ordained.
Mtakatifu Yosefu, utuombee.
We are one faith, one hope, one baptism. We are one, holy, Catholic, apostolic. We are the Catholic Church. This is who we are.